Hello everybody. Today we're going to be talking about graphing systems of linear equations. And what you can see up here is that we have two linear equations which create a system, okay? So you can see that both of these have y by itself, so they are both in slope-intercept form. So I'm going to go ahead and write that up here because it helps us identify our m value and our b value, which you can see over here in steps 1 and 3. I have to have those two. And it says to go ahead and identify the slope and y-intercept of the first equation. It doesn't necessarily mean this equation up here. I can pick either one of these as the first because I'm going to be graphing both. But I'm going to choose y equals 1/3 x minus 3 as my first equation. My first step to graphing this line is to go ahead and identify the slope and the y-intercept. And in this case, 1/3 is in the place of m. So I'm going to put 1/3, which means up 1, right 3. And my b value is your constant at the end, which in this case is a -3. The negative is very important. In order to graph this line, I'm going to begin with my b value, which is at -3 because it is the y-intercept, therefore is on the y-axis. And I'm going to apply the slope, which is up 1, right 3. So up 1, right 3, and place my secondary dot. From here, once I get the two dots graphed, I can go ahead and use my straight edge and graph completely across the graph. And there you go. So that is step number 1. That is our first equation graphed. Step number 3, I'm going to use blue, just so that way we can see the difference between the two lines. And my second equation was this guy up here, the one I left alone at the beginning. So it is y equals -5/3 x plus 3. And you can see in this case, according to slope-intercept form, m and -5/3 are in the same place. So my m value is -5/3, which means down 5, right 3. But I need my beginning point, which is my intercept. And the intercept, once again, is the coefficient at the end of slope-intercept form, which is a +3. So in this case, I come over here on my y-intercept, graph at +3. Then I apply my slope of down 5, right 3. So down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and right 3. I end up on the same dot, so I got pretty lucky here. What you can see then is now that I have my two dots, line up your straight edge, graph completely across the graph. Sometimes it's really important to do so. And what you can see then is I'm going to go ahead and identify the intersection to find the solution. And in order to find the solution to a system in graphing is simply the ordered pair where the two lines intersect. So in this case, the ordered pair for this is right 1, 2, 3, which is your x value, and down 1, 2, which is -2. So 3, -2 is where those two lines intersect. So the solution to this equation is 3, -2. Now in order to prove that, we can do a quick check here. Let's go ahead and use this equation, and what we're going to do is we're going to plug in our input and output values for these. In this case, y is -2. I have 1/3 times x, and my x value is 3, so I'm going to go ahead and plug that in there, and -3. And then from here, if I simply do the math, what you will see is that these 3's cancel. I end up with -2 equals 1 minus 3, and -2 equals -2. This checks out. It creates a true statement. Therefore, I know I graphed my lines correctly. If you can follow these simple steps with slope-intercept form, they won't always be like this. You may have to change them around a little bit. You might have to use the cover-up method if they're in standard form, but the lines should intersect at some point on a graph. All right, there you go. Good luck.